Once you get good and familiar with the idea of how to stab someone to death, somebody else with a knife in their hand loses all of its mystery. Just that easy. Guy's got a knife in his hand, he's not suddenly more dangerous, he's just carrying your knife. Alright, but we have to be clear about this. The more you talk, the more you guys interact, the more you try to make your partner feel at ease, or make yourself feel at ease more importantly, the less good you're going to get at this stuff. You're detracting from your own learning. I'm not saying be mad, be angry, and give each other, evil eyes all the time. But I'm saying that when you're doing this stuff, the best thing for you to possibly do is to focus on the job at hand. No angry face, no, murderer's grill. You're not doing any of that stuff. All you're doing is working the little tiny screw in the sunglasses closed. It takes the same level of focus, the same level of hand-eye coordination to get really focused on what you're doing. Because what I want to do is get really, really focused on sticking this knife repeatedly into this guy until I'm done. Because that's what it takes. And if it doesn't look that way, if it doesn't look that way, you're not getting it done. No level of self-defense, no level of feeling comfortable with this information is going to keep Sophie from getting stabbed in that situation. You ready, Sophie?
For what?
You're going to do your best to keep me from stabbing you. Sure. Okay? So Sophie's going to defend himself. Sophie's going to try to keep his minimum safe distance. Sophie's going to try to block the knife. Sophie's going to do everything he can.
Stop. You got to give up your arm.
Just keep up the arm. Yeah, there you go.
Wait.
You're going to wrap a towel in it?
Yeah, use a towel. I'm going to borrow it.
Yeah. Okay, you ready, right?
Wait. No, seriously.
Okay. You guys go ahead and figure out how Sophie's going to survive this one. I've already got to figure it out. Figure out he's not.
Now you got to get a knife defense. Okay. You have to have your knife defense down. Okay, so you're going to give something right away. You need the distance. Because the distance is what's going to save you in this. All right?
You ready, Sophie?
Yeah.
Okay. You ready? Tell me when you're ready. Okay. That's how it works. And that's how it looks. And you have to be the one using the knife for that. Now,
I think just real quick, the big idea I want to focus on here.
ooh, I skinned up my knuckles, stabbing the hell out of me.
What kind of technique did Torin use? Stabbing. This is there you go. This is what we're talking about. It takes no training. All it takes is knowing that it can be done. And that's where the criminal sociopath shines. They learn either through modeling. They learn either through modeling, from seeing someone stab someone else, or from getting stabbed. They learn what it takes to get it done. And then they say, especially if you've been the one who got stabbed, you say, well, that's the last time that happens to me. Next time, I'm going to be the one doing all the stabbing. But as you saw, it takes no skill. It takes no real knowledge, other than the fact that it can be done.
You want to play that? Yeah. Now Sophie's going to go ahead and do whatever he wants to do while I try to stab him. Please don't use the cast. So now Sophie can do whatever he wants. Sophie doesn't have to do self-defense anymore. Sophie can go ahead and injure me. Don't, really. Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
That's how that works. It's a little bit different that way.
It's funny, but it's not. It's funny, but it's not, because everybody else out there is telling you, you have to respect this. This all of a sudden gives this guy incredible power. The only thing this thing can do is make this a little more dangerous, because this gives this guy the ability to do something that his bare hands can't. And I'm sure they've already gone over that. Okay? And until you wrap your hands around that and get that in your head, that these tools are not what you need to worry about, all that stuff goes away as soon as you step in and do something. And that is the key. That's what this whole weekend's all about. If you learn nothing else, that's all we care about. That you walk out that door knowing that when the time comes, the first thing you need to do is put an injury on this guy.
Because technique changed nothing. Right? Torin came at him with the knife. He had technique. He was going to try to defend himself, focus on the knife, try to wrap up in it, protect himself, block. And none of that made any difference. The only thing that made a difference was injury.
And what if? Okay, so you've been successful. And you did one block, one this. You got away with it. Softy comes at me with a knife and, okay, stop here. Second time. So then I'm still trying to deal with the knife at this point. This guy's a fighter. So now I got the knife. And that's just it. Boom. Okay? So if I'm going to focus in on the weapon, it's like first I got to take care of this. So, boom, I'm here. And now I'm going to go and do this. That's what I'm going to get. Whereas if he's here, it's just, boom, and you take it. And then you do what you want. There you go. And it's over with. But you got to know what you want to do. And that's create injuries. The only thing this thing should motivate you to do is this should really, really piss you off. No, I don't mean it. Because there's no questioning this guy's intent now. That's one thing when the tools come out. There is no questioning his intent. The only reason you put this in your hands is because you want to intensify whatever trauma you want to deliver. You want to kill somebody. Okay? So we don't need to ask the question, why do you have the knife? No, now I know what he wants. You know? And we'll talk more about that when we get to the weapons. But what they just showed you is the whole reason you guys are here this weekend, whether you know it or not. And you got to get that across. Okay?